Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Sam's Financial Corner. And in today's episode, we're going to do the last and final part of my four-part series of laying a financial foundation. And this is going to talk about laying a financial foundation in your 50s. And I know this is going to be hard for some because when you're in your 50s, you feel like I'm this close to retirement. I've messed up. I've screwed up. I have more debt than I know what to do with. You may just feel like you've messed up and wasted time. And guess what? You're right. You've messed up and you wasted time. And guess what? That's okay. We're human. We put too much on ourselves to have some unrealistic level of expectation. And we forget one of the most important rules of life, that the mistakes that we've made, we've learned so much from more than the things that we've gotten right. You've made mistakes. It's okay. You've gotten things wrong. Or guess what? Life can just happen. It could be medical bills or unforeseen things that financially devastate you and you have to rebuild. And guess what? That's life sometimes. That's okay. It's hard when you have to go through those things, but sometimes we just have to. So here are my top tips for you for laying a financial foundation even in your 50s. Step one. You're going to have to save at least 25% of your gross income. I know that's a lot. I know that's a lot. I know that's a lot. Because I didn't even say 25% of net. I said 25 of gross. And I know that can be hard. But you're going to want to rebuild as fastly. No, I said fastly. I don't think fastly is a word. That's not good grammar. But I'm kind of tired, so forgive me. But you're going to want to rebuild your income as fast as you can. You're going to have to aggressively pay down unnecessary debt. You're going to need to free up more income for your retirement, because if you're in your 50s, retirement is a lot closer than you think. But to be honest, you might not be able to retire when you want to. Hopefully you can. And that's my goal, to try to help you get to where you can. So you're going to have to aggressively pay down unnecessary debt. Another thing you're going to have to do, and I know this may be hard and I know that you might not be able to, but if you're taking care of your kids or a parent or someone else, sometimes they do need your financial assistance. I'm not going to say stop, but sometimes we enable. There's a difference between being a caretaker and being an enabler. And if you are an enabler financially, then you're going to have to stop that because it's destroying you financially. You always have to make sure that your cup overflows, not that your cup is empty. Next, you're going to need to contribute the maximum to your retirement. I say that in all the videos, but for you specifically, especially, you're going to have to. An IRA account, you're going to have to contribute as much as you possibly can to try to pay catch up. Shameless plug time. Purchase my course on Thinkific. It's going to help you. Doesn't matter that you're in your 50s. Hope is not lost. It definitely isn't. Invest in the stock market. You're going to have to do it. Now, just because you may not have a lot of time, don't feel that you have to be aggressive. You invest in whatever level you feel comfortable with. But you also have to realize, if you still plan to retire at maybe 65, 67, or even 70, you may not want or feel comfortable taking as much risk as someone who is in their 20s or their 30s. So there's that to consider. You're going to definitely need to secure additional income. If you're a grandparent at this point and you watch your grandkids, you're going to need to charge your children to watch them. And I know some people are like, what? Yep, you're going to need to charge them. You're going to have to do something. If you're not in a good financial place, you need to do everything you can to put yourself in a better financial position. So you're going to have to be creative with it, whether it's watching your grandkids or doing something online, taking a part-time job, whatever it is. You're trying to solidify yourself, and that's going to require additional funds. Let's see, the next one. You're going to definitely need a will. You should have a will regardless. I know some people say I don't have nothing. Nope, nope, nope. Have your desires and wishes in writing. It is the smart thing to do. Don't just write it down somewhere and act like that's it. No, you really need to have a will. It's just important for those whom you leave behind. This also is important to consider if you're in your 50s. Something you might want to consider is, especially here in the US, it's kind of expensive to live. It is. You may want to consider retiring in another country. I mean, that has its own set of issues. However, you're going to have to kind of be strategic. It may behoove you, it may be your best option to retire in another country or another part of the US where it's not so expensive. For those who are in their 50s and you migrated here from another country, most of you all have already decided that you're going to go back home, and that makes sense. But for those of us here, we're born here, you may want to consider it. It's just something to consider. So I went through this rather quickly. Oh, also, since I'm kind of in the middle, please like, comment, subscribe. But I want to take a moment to, and I know I've kind of addressed this a little bit throughout the video, but I want to take a moment to address that depending on what you've gone through in life, emotionally, you can just feel wrecked, especially if you feel one thing after another thing happen to you and you feel completely overwhelmed. What I want you to understand is don't give up. Take a deep breath. You got this. You can do it. You got to believe in yourself even when that inner voice says you can't. Even when that inner voice says it's tired or you just give up. Don't give up on living. There are always opportunities for each of us. We just have to sometimes think outside the box. Life is not lost because you're laying a financial foundation in your 50s. Another thing that you may need to consider is your children. Getting help from them. That might be an option. There are many different things to consider, and I can sit here all day trying to think of them. But that's your job, not mine. I want you to think about what are the things that you feel you can do to help yourself get out of where you are and get to where you want to be. And the last thing, because I kind of said it, but I want to focus on it. Think about what you want retirement to look like for you. Even in your 50s, yeah, definitely think about what it is you want it to look like. Don't be afraid to dream even in your 50s. Dreams are not for somebody in their 20s, 30s, or 40s. Dreams are for all, no matter how old you might be. So think of your dream and take it from there. All right, well, that's the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. And even if you're not in your 50s, please take this message with you. Don't give up. Don't give up no matter what. Always dream, always hope, always keep going. I will talk to you all next time. Again, I love you all so much. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.